इंगडू ओपन करायचा.
आता मॅम फक्त ती एंड स्क्रीनच्या बाजूला एक लिंक आहे शेअर, तेवढी मला
इथं फॉरवर्डचा एक एरो आहे, लाईव्ह बटन
लाईव्हच्या बाजूला
हा इथे
शेअर करा क्लिक.
तुम्हाला
Copy
शेअर
करा.
करू
हा ती लिंक कॉपी करा, ती लिंक नाही ती लिंक कॉपी करा, व्हिडिओ
हा.
लिंक. हा
आणि तुमच्या व्हॉट्सअपला
व्हॉट्सअपला
वरती आहे ना मॅडम, वरती व्हॉट्सअप आहे ना मॅम, त्या टॅब आहे ना, स्नेल मॅमला शेअर करा.
हा मी पाठवते. थँक्यू पाठवते मुलांना.
पेस्ट करा.
हा मला पाठवा, मी लगेच टेस्ट करते.
हा आणि मिनिमाइज करा आता सगळं मॅम, फक्त मिनिमाइज. क्लोज नाही
दिसतंय मॅम, दिसतं ते तुम्ही. हा झालंय
फक्त मिनिमाइज. यस, अँड इंगडू मध्ये जा. करेक्ट, गो अहेड. यू आर लाईव्ह. बाकी आता काय तिकडे स्विच करायची गरज नाही. मोबाईल ओपन आहे का?
हा मोबाईल आहे माझ्याकडे.
बर, मोबाईलवर कमेंट वगैरे दिसते.
7 जण आहेत मॅम. काय म्हणतात त्याला, व्हॉट्सअप बंद करा मॅम, तुमचं पर्सनल डेटा दिसेल. हा ऑल गुड.
एकच मिनिट.
यस, यू आर लाईव्ह. बाकी आता काय तिकडे स्विच करायची गरज नाही. मोबाईल पण आहे. गुगल मीट बंद करावं लागेल आपल्याला.
7 जण आहेत मॅम. काय म्हणतात त्याला, व्हॉट्सअप बंद करा मॅम, तुमचं पर्सनल डेटा दिसेल. हा ऑल.
ठीक आहे. हॅलो
मॅम, कंटिन्यू करा.
हा मॅम, माझा व्हिडिओ पण दिसतोय का तिथे, म्हणजे मी दिसतेय का?
सगळं दिसतंय मॅम, ऑल गुड.
नाही, खूप जास्त पसार आहे ऍक्च्युली, थोडस ते बंद केलं चांगलं होईल.
नाही आता बरोबर आहे, व्हाईट स्क्रीन आहे. कंटिन्यू करा.
येस, ठीक आहे.
चलो थँक्यू.
ओके, हॅलो, गुड इव्हनिंग. Okay, hello, good evening. Myself Trupti Kataria. I'm going to take today one important topic of the 11th and 12th, as well as this is very important topic for the CET. That is aromatic compounds. Okay, this is one of the organic chemistry topic, that is aromatic compounds. So today we are going to see about what are aromatic compounds. Aromatic compounds काय असतात ते आपण आज शिकूयात. हा टॉपिक आपल्याला 11th आणि 12th मध्ये आता शिकून आपल्याला प्रत्येक एक्झाम्पल मध्ये अप्लाय करायचं आहे. सो वी आर गोइंग टू सी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हॉट आर aromatic compounds. So for the aromatic compound, there are some conditions are there. What are aromatic compound? First of all, we are going to see. That is, there are mainly 4 rules for the aromaticity. If these rules are obeyed by the compounds, then we can say the compound is aromatic. So which are different rules? The first rule is your compound must be cyclic. See, our compound, it must be cyclic. Okay. Next one is, that is, our compound must be planar. The compound, it must be planar. So what are planar compounds? Planar compounds म्हणजे काय? कोणते compounds planar असतात? The compound which having specifically sp2 or sp hybridized carbon atom, they are planar. Now after that थोड्या वेळाने आपण पाहूयात की sp2 आणि sp hybridized carbon काय असतात पहा. Now the next one is, your compound must be conjugated. Okay, your compound must be, it must be conjugated. See what is conjugated compound now? The compound which having alternative carbon-carbon double bond and single bonded system, that is called as conjugation, conjugated system. And the last one, that is your compound must obey Huckel rule. Our compound must obey Huckel rule. Okay. So what is Huckel rule? Huckel rule means what? It is 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. This is called as Huckel rule, where this n is equal to any number like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay, that is n. So we are going to understood this all the concept. See, first of all, our compound is cyclic. That is a very easy thing. Compound cyclic हवा है. Next one is it must be planar. So planarity साठी त्याच्याकडे एकतर sp2 or sp hybridized carbon पाहिजे. So what is planar compound? What are sp2 and sp3 sp hybridized compound? So planar means the compound which is sp2 or sp hybridized, they are planar. For example, the carbon-carbon double bond which shows sp2 hybridization, while the carbon-carbon triple bonded compound it shows sp hybridization. Okay, so I think so this second point is clear, that is planar compound. Planar compound means what? sp2 and sp hybridized compound, that is the compound which having carbon-carbon double bond or a carbon-carbon triple bond stream, that is sp2 and sp hybridized, and it must be planar. Now the next one is compound must be conjugated. Now see, we are going to see what is conjugation now. Compound must be conjugated. So see what is conjugation? Conjugation. Conjugation means here must be present of if our compound is which contains carbon alternative carbon carbon double bond single bond double bond system, that is called as conjugation. Okay, that is, see, this is an alternative carbon carbon double bond and carbon carbon single bonded system. This is called as conjugation. Second way of conjugation of the compound is if our compound is which having this alternative carbon carbon double bond single bond and positive charge, then it can also show the conjugation. The third way of showing a conjugation of the compound is if compound having carbon carbon double bond single bond and a negative charge, it can also show conjugation. Now next, if the compound which showing carbon carbon double bond single bond and if it having a lone pair of electrons, okay, so if compound which have alternative double bond single bonded system with the positive charge, then it is conjugated. With the negative charge, then also it is conjugated, and with the lone pair of electron, then it is also conjugated. Okay, then it is conjugated. So we see this third point, that is conjugation. So what is conjugation? Basically the conjugation is the compound having this kind of systems, that is alternative double bond single bond double bond system, alternative double bond single bond or positive charge, alternative double bond single bond or negative charge, or it can have alternative double bond single bond and lone pair of electrons, that is non-bonded electron pair. It is called as conjugation. And the last point is our compound, it must obeys Huckel rule. So what is the Huckel rule? That is 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. Okay, so first of all, we are going to see the compound is conjugated or not. I'm going to give an example, then we are going to see the aromatic compounds. For the first example, for the conjugation and non-conjugation, see, this compound is there. If we look towards this compound, see here, The carbon-carbon single bond is present here. 1, 2, which having single bond. 2, 3 having a double bond. 3, 4 which having a single bond. But this 4, 5, it also have a single bond. That's why this compound is non-conjugated. हा compound कसा आहे? Non-conjugated आहे. का non-conjugated आहे? Here, if we look towards this bond, this is a carbon-carbon single bond and single bond. Here, no alternative carbon-carbon single bond and double bond is present. Hence, this compound is non-conjugated compound. If we see this compound, if we compare this molecule with this molecule, see here, the carbon number 1, 2, double bond is there. 2, 3 is a single bond. 3, 4, double bond. Again, single bond, double bond. If we look towards this compound, here is the presence of alternative double bond, single bond, double bond, single bonded system is there. Hence, our compound is conjugated, right? Therefore, this compound is conjugated compound. If we look towards this another example, see this. This is example of furan. Okay, the molecule is known as furan. This is the example of furan. Again, I'm going to draw this. See, this is a furan. This oxygen carries a lone pair of electron. You have to remember one thing, that is the lone pair of electron which are present inside the ring, they are calculated in a conjugation. The lone pair of electron which are present outside the ring, they are not calculated in a conjugation. Okay, so this point is there. The fourth point we are going to see in this example. See here. Here is the presence of alternative double bond, single bond and lone pair of electrons. See here, double bond, single bond and lone pair. Double bond, single bond and lone pair of electron. Therefore, this compound is also conjugated compound. Conjugated compound. Okay. If we see another example, for example, this kind of molecule is there. These lone pairs, here presence of these lone pairs. As I say, lone pair of electrons, if they are present outside the ring, they are not considered in a conjugation. Okay, या lone pair of electron आपण conjugation मध्ये consider करणार नाही आहोत. That's why this compound which having this double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond is alternative system of conjugation and it is conjugated system. Therefore, it is conjugated system. Okay, these lone pair of electrons are not considered. So I hope you got this conjugation. This is a master key for the conjugation. I have give the master key for the conjugation. The what is conjugation? These are the 4 master keys for the conjugation. So you have to easily understood the what is conjugation by this example as well as this master key. Okay, so this is your master key for the conjugation to identify the conjugation. This is a master key to identify the conjugation. Okay. Next, see, we are going to see about the Huckel rule. Huckel rule is 4n plus 2 pi electron. So, we are going to solve example first of all. Just a minute. Okay. See, example. We are going to see the example. Example for the aromaticity, aromatic compounds and non-aromatic compounds. First of all, see, if you see this example, we are going to apply all the 4 points that we study here. The first point is your compound must be planar. Must be cyclic. Okay. So, our compound is cyclic. Okay. It is present in one cycle. Therefore, this compound is cyclic. This compound is cyclic. That first condition is fulfilled. Okay. Now the second condition, our second condition is our compound must be planar. For the planarity, your carbon-carbon double bond is carbon-carbon bond is sp2 hybridized. Okay, so if you look towards this carbon, this is a double bonded carbon. That's why it is sp2 hybridized. This is also sp2 hybridized. This is also sp2 because it is carbon-carbon double bond. sp2, sp2, sp2 hybridized carbon atom are there because all are double bonded carbon atom. Hence, all carbons are sp2 hybridized. So we can write here as all carbons are sp2 hybridized. See here, as all carbons are sp2 hybridized, our compound is planar. आपला कंपाउंड कसा आहे? प्लेनर आहे कारण सगळे कार्बन sp2 हायब्रिडाइज्ड आहेत. नाउ next point we study, that is your compound must be conjugated. Now look towards ring. Is it conjugated? We are going to see double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond and single bonded system is there. That is alternative double bond and single bond is present. This alternative double bond and single bond is present in a system. Therefore, our system is, therefore, your system or your compound is conjugated. हा जो कंपाउंड आहे हा conjugated कंपाउंड आहे. ठीक आहे. Now the last point, that is we are going to see, is this our compound obeys Huckel's rule or not? So the last point, that is Huckel rule. Huckel rule. The Huckel rule is nothing but 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. This is known as Huckel rule. If we look towards our system, how many pi electrons are present in our compound? We can easily identify this. How many pi electrons are present in our compound? Every pi bond which carries 2 electrons, है ना? Each bond which carries a 2 electrons. So how many pi bonds are present here? There are 3 pi bonds are present here. Okay, our system has a 3 pi bond. Therefore, every pi bond which carries a 2 electron, therefore 6 pi electrons are present in our compound that we look here. Okay. Now, we are going to say, if we add 4 into n is equal to 1, if we take n is equal to 1, 4 into 1 plus 2, which is equal to, that is 6 pi electrons. So, see here, our system which carries a 6 pi electron, therefore, this compound which obeys Huckel's rule, it obeys Huckel rule. Huckel rule. Therefore, we can say our compound obeys all the condition for the aromaticity of the compound, and hence the compound is aromatic in nature. It obeys Huckel's rule. Therefore, your above compound is aromatic in nature. Okay. So, this is an aromatic compound. If you are going to take one more example, see the next example I'm going to take here. Carbon-carbon double bond. This kind of example is there. See this. The first point, that is our compound is cyclic or not. Yes, the compound is cyclic. So, our compound is cyclic in nature. Cyclic in nature. Second point, that is your compound is planar or non-planar. So for the planarity, you are going to see for the sp2 and sp hybridized carbon atom. And we know that what is sp2 hybridized carbon atom? If carbon carries carbon-carbon double bond, then it is called as sp2 hybridized. If we look towards this carbon atom, it is double bond, hence it is sp2. If you look towards this carbon atom, it is also double bonded carbon, hence it is conjugative. Oh, sorry, hence it is sp2 hybridized, hence it is planar. This is sp2 hybridized. This is also sp2 hybridized. So all carbons are sp2 hybridized, hence the system is planar in nature. All carbons are sp2 hybridized, hence your system or a compound is planar. Okay, so your compound is planar. Two conditions are fulfilled. Now we are going to look towards the third condition, that is conjugation. See here, is there any conjugation is present in your compound? The compound which having double bond, double bond, single bonded system. That is, yes, compound is conjugated, right? Because it having alternative double bond and single bonded system. Hence, our compound is conjugated in nature. Okay, so the compound is conjugated. Now the next one, that is cyclic, planar and conjugated. All three conditions are fulfilled. Now we are going to see about the Hückel rule. Hückel rule. See, that is 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. This is called as Hückel rule. Now, our system which carries how many electrons? We know that one pi bond is equal to 2 electrons. So here 2 pi bonds are present in our compound. So 2 pi bonds, that is your system which having 4 pi electrons, right? Your system which having 4 pi electrons. Now we are going to look by using this Hückel rule. Can we got a 4 pi electrons? Hückel rule चा यूज करून आपल्याला 4 pi electrons भेटतात आहे का? We are going to see. See, if we use 4 into 1 plus 2, we know that that is a 6 pi electron. Okay, if we use 4 into 0 plus 2, we does not got a 4 pi electron, we got a 2 pi electron. So, if we put any number here as n is equal to 0, 1, 2, we does not got a 4 pi electrons. Therefore, your system cannot obey Hückel rule. Okay, 4 into n plus 2 pi electron, that is a 6 pi electrons. So, it cannot obey 4 into 0 plus 2, that is, which is equal to 4, 0, 2 pi electrons. But the system cannot obey the Hückel rule. Why? Because your system carries a 4 pi electron, right? तुमच्या सिस्टीमकडे 4 पाय इलेक्ट्रॉन आहे, पण तुम्ही जर n is equal to 0 टाकताय, 1 टाकताय, still you does not got the number 4. That's why we can say the compound, it does not obeys Hückel rule. Okay, your compound does not obey Hückel rule, hence it is non-aromatic compound. This is non-aromatic compound. Okay, one more concept is here. See this concept. One more concept is here, that is, if your compound obeys, if our compound obeys 4n electron rule, 4n electron rule, then it is known as anti-aromatic compound. Okay, then it is known as anti-aromatic compound. Okay, if we take the same example that we see here, this is the compound. We study about this compound, that is, it is non-aromatic. This is a non-aromatic because it cannot obey Hückel rule. Okay, but if you see for the 4n rule, 4n rule, if we take n is equal to 1, okay, so we got here 4 into 1, which is equal to 4 pi electrons. And we know that our system contains 4 pi electrons. Therefore, this compound is anti-aromatic because it obeys 4n rule, but it does not obeys 4n plus 2 pi electron rule, that is Huckel rule. It is not obeyed. Huckel rule is not obeyed, hence it is non-aromatic. But this 4n rule is obeyed, hence it is anti-aromatic compound. Okay, so the one simple concept we study today, that is, if uh, if you are going to look towards the aromatic and non-aromatic compounds, on anti-aromatic also, the compound which, if it obeys these 4 conditions, that is cyclic, planar, conjugated, as well as Huckel rule. If it obeys Huckel's rule, then the compound is known as aromatic. But if the compound which obeys 4n rule, then it is known as anti-aromatic compounds. Okay. Now see, next example we are going to see. We are going to differentiate between this aromatic, non-aromatic and anti-aromatic for your easy understanding, because this kind of questions, they are these are the important questions for the CET, or we can say these are the very हे क्वेश्चन्स जे असतात हे तुमच्या एक्झामिनरचे आवडते क्वेश्चन्स असतात. The questions like this, for example, which of the following compound is aromatic, which of the following compound is anti-aromatic, or which of the following compound is non-aromatic. There are 4 options are given. This kind of questions are basically asked in your CET exam as well as your NEET JEE exam also. So we are going to first of all differentiate between aromatic, anti-aromatic and non-aromatic, and then we look towards some examples. So see, first of all, aromatic compounds. What are aromatic compounds? Summarize. We are going to summarize actually. Anti-aromatic compound, and the last one is non-aromatic compound. Okay. So see, we studied here, if the compound is cyclic, then if the compound is sp2 hybridized, if your compound is conjugated, if your compound obeys Huckel rule. Huckel rule is nothing but 4n plus 2 pi electron rule, that is a Huckel rule. Then your compound, it should be stable and it is aromatic compounds. Okay, असे compounds हे stable compounds असतात. Aromatic compounds are stable compounds, and that is aromatic compounds. Now if you are going to see about anti-aromatic compound, these compounds are also cyclic. हे compounds देखील cyclic असतात. Now they are sp2 hybridized. Similarly, they are sp2 hybridized. हे देखील sp2 hybridized असतात. Now they are also conjugated, and we study the master key. Conjugation म्हणजे काय? That is a master key. We study before this point. Now next one is, if it obeys the Huckel rule, but which Huckel rule? That is 4n pi electron rule. 4n pi electron rule. If this rule is obeyed, see here it obeys this rule 4n plus 2 pi electron, and here it obeys 4n rule. If this rule is obeyed by the compound, then this compound is unstable and it is considered as anti-aromatic compound. Okay, so this compound is somewhat unstable compound, and this is considered as anti-aromatic compound, right? I hope these 2 points are clear. Now next one is non-aromatic compounds. So what are non-aromatic compound? They are not aromatic, they are not anti-aromatic. Okay, हे कंपाऊंड हे कुठल्याही कंडिशन, यामधली एकही कंडिशन जरी यांनी ओबे नाही केली, फॉर एक्झाम्पल युअर कंपाऊंड, इफ युअर कंपाऊंड इज नॉन सायक्लिक, then it is non-aromatic. है ना? Then if your compound is not sp2 hybridized, then also it is not aromatic compound. So if any one of the condition is not obeyed by this compound, then they are considered as a non-aromatic compounds. Okay, so we are going to write if any one of the condition is not obeyed by our compound, not obeyed by our compound, then it is considered as then it is considered as non-aromatic. तर त्याला आपण म्हणतो नॉन अरोमॅटिक कंपाऊंड्स. आणि नॉन अरोमॅटिक कंपाऊंड्स देखील कसे असतात, दे आर ऑल्सो स्टेबल. Okay, non-aromatic compounds are also stable compounds. They are somewhat stable compounds. Okay, so today we study about aromatic, anti-aromatic, and non-aromatic compounds. I'm going to take here some examples for the aromaticity and non-aromaticity. If you take this example, the name of this compound is pyrrole. Okay, so one by one condition we go here. See the first condition, your compound is cyclic. Second condition, your compound is sp2 hybridized आहे का पाहूयात. Say double bond, single bond, lone pairs, single bond, double bond, single bond. Okay, so each and every carbon which carries a sp2 hybridized carbon, this is sp2, 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 sp2. Hence, sp2 hybridized carbons are present. Now we are going to look towards the conjugation. Yeah, your system is conjugated because we study this master key. Now we know that double bond, single bond, and lone pair of electron if present in any of the compound, then this is conjugated. And if these lone pairs are present inside the ring, then this is called as conjugated. Hence your compound is conjugated. Now the last point is we are going to write a Hooke's rule. We are going to see about the Hooke's rule. So 4n plus 2 pi electron rule is known as Hooke's rule. Now, see here, your system carries how many electrons? First of all, we are going to count 1, 2. 2 pi bonds, that is 4 electrons, and here 2 lone pair of electron. That is, your system contains totally 6 pi electrons. Okay. So, by putting the n is equal to 1 plus 2 pi electrons, that is, it is equal to 6 pi electrons, and hence your system can obey this Hooke's rule also, and therefore we can say this pyrrole is it can obey Hooke's rule. It can obey Hooke's rule. Therefore, and it can obey all the conditions. Therefore, your compound is aromatic in nature. Your compound is aromatic. Okay, so I hope this all the points you all of you get about this all the points: aromatic, anti-aromatic, and non-aromatic compounds. Okay, give a look towards this difference. Hello. Stop the recording. Oh, okay. M to okay. चालेल. हम्म. चालेल.